Ghana is the seventh producer of gold in the world and first in Africa after unseating South Africa in 2019. Available data indicates that the 142.4 tons produced, over 30% of the precious mineral, is mined illegal, commonly referred to as Galamsey. As if that wasn't detrimental enough, most of the gold obtained through Galamsey are subsequently exported illegally. The mining and quarry sector, according to the Ghana Revenue Authority (GRA), accounted for 16.3% of domestic revenue in 2017. Although mining continues to contribute to the country's development in terms of jobs creation, foreign exchange earnings, and infrastructural development and tax revenues, it is important that these benefits are optimized, since such resources will be depleted.
Very soon, if we don't stop it, Ghana will not exist. If we don't stop it, because the country cannot exist without water, a country cannot exist without land, the country cannot exist without forests or trees or ecosystem. No country can survive. If you like go to the Sahara desert, even the Sahara, they are not destroying that land. How much more we, the blessing God has had for us, why do we want to make it a curse? So these people who are murdering Ghana, we should see it as more than a murder of one person or two. This is more than murdering a whole nation. The soul is being destroyed, our spirit is being destroyed, our bodies are being destroyed, and it's a serious. We friends of River, we see it more than murderers, and it's something we should take to set with. We appeal to everybody in the court, everywhere. When this issue comes to you, see it as serious.
Stakeholders have seen the negative impact of illegal mining, or Galamsey, as one of the deadliest catalysts eating up the country's success. Hence, recent calls to stop the canker.
The chemical they are putting in is polluting the soil. It's seeping into the soil. People will drink it, they will get sick. It is going into the food we are eating. I've said it, and one day it will happen. Even the cocoa, a few of them that will be left, these chemicals will go into the cocoa, and one day it will be rejected.
Past and present governments have attempted to fight against the Galamsey menace, albeit unsuccessfully. The more government tried, the more the problem exacerbated. By 2017, the Galamsey conundrum had almost become so intractable, to the extent that a media coalition against Galamsey was formed, and a strong movement against Galamsey was ignited, precipitating a general groundswell of discontentment against Galamsey among the vast majority of the Ghanaian populace, save those who benefit directly or indirectly from Galamsey. Galamsey does not only pollute rivers and other water bodies, but also leaves death traps for miners themselves and other farmers within the mining communities. The lands are also polluted, making it weak for agricultural purpose.
People are seriously destroying our country. And you see, well, look at this, the river and Cobra. How it's being destroyed. Look at the tributaries, everyone is destroyed, and even they block it, and then they mine and destroy the water.
According to research, and total percentage of school dropout as a result of Galamsey is 52.27%. In interacting with some of these illegal miners, they established that their main reason for going into the activity is as a result of lack of support from family members to finance their education or start a decent job. They believe that with the illegal mining, it gives them all the money they need to start life. With this, one can conclude that there is high premium to be placed on this illegal activity as compared to education. Those also believe illegal mining offers them the quick money they need, which will make their life better in future.
Galamsey. Ya masim here kese. Ya ye brim. Ya hu di aye. Proud. And cobra. Sure kese organ in ene. Ya say. Ya masim here pa se bepe kwembi. Na ye sa Galamsey no free me. First time. Yeah. Nenso enu baby akese do no. At this time round so me dia hotin so ko ba be shemu. Mama ni nyina betwe hu say ampa. Many brasam. The kwen bia so no esese yi Galamsey no efiri asetrem. Na asase no eni nsuo na japade a enana no gijae no yeso enya bibia ni beja woni so eba no ya sheda amfe na nsi form ameni enya denwa na adan na be boy the freers yes that's what I can say. I intend to do everything within my power in this second term to bring this Galamsey menace to a conclusion in Ghana.
In an interaction with Deputy National Director of Arocha Ghana, Darrell Bosu, he explains the damning effect of illegal mining on our lands and water bodies.
Currently, if you go to, the eastern region, some of the major rivers and streams you can think about, the Birim, Densu recently had come an attack from some individual who want to mine, but Birim is completely polluted. You know, the River Pra is polluted. I don't know of any big river in this country now that is spared, apart from the Volta Basin where you don't really see certain actions. But even that, you need to know that all these rivers and streams eventually flow and connect to it, and then some to the sea. So illegal mining is definitely a big drain on our water services. We also recall that recently in Chebi, the water treatment facility there was also shut down because of pollution. So Galamsey is still with us, and until we address that, it's not the percentages will really not matter. What is clear is that people everywhere are complaining, and not just the South, across the whole country. And this means that we all need to rise up and deal with it. Aside the pollution of our water bodies, one other side effect of Galamsey is also the pollution of our land with heavy metals, because these eventually get taken up in the food that we eat. And at the moment, we all buy and source food from across the country. You don't know which plantain you buy and where it is coming from. Even the oranges we take, some of these oranges have been planted on degraded mine site for 5 years ago, and now they are harvesting them. So you ask yourself, how do we even account for all of these pollution? And nobody is measuring. We had somebody do research on some degraded sites in the eastern region, and found that the contaminant of heavy metals in some of the soils was really bad, way beyond levels approved by World Health Organization. The same was with content of heavy metals in some food crops, also way beyond levels approved by World Health Organization. So it means that it's not just the water pollution that we see, but also the food. And when it comes to that, within the food chain, nobody will be spared. So we all really need to be concerned with this Galamsey. We should not allow the excuse given by a few people of livelihood to destroy our lives for water and also for food and for the bigger Ghanaian population. Much more also, we've not talked about even the future generations. What are they going to inherit from us? That should also be a big concern to us.
He wants to see government work and get results from the many dialogues organized to help find a lasting solution to the menace.
I need to say that we are still very much concerned about the increasing Galamsey activities across the country. The recent development where we saw military officers even preventing state-mandated agencies from stopping Galamsey activity. All of that breeds some sort of concern for us, and it shouldn't be happening. So we really want to see the government actually sit up, and as they say, they are really committed. Let's see that commitment really manifest in actions. I think so far, we've just been talking about the issue, beating around the bush. We know what the issues are, and that is why we don't think that it is now time to go and do a conversation. Everybody knows what the challenges is and who is not doing what needs to be done. Let's get to it and then deal with it.
In 2019, The government of Ghana introduced a 5-year multi-sectorial mining integrated project MMIP to restructure the artisanal and small-scale mining ASM sector. It is on the back of this that some private entities have decided to contribute to the fight against illegal mining by way of implementing the blueprint introduced by government. The Multi-Sectorial Mining Integrated Project MMIP appraisal and implementation document covers the overall strategy and activity components that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has developed to help curb the illegal mining menace, popularly known as Galamsey in Ghana. Godwin Awudi is the CEO of Stratitank, a private company working with illegal miners through government's multi-sectorial mining integrated project.
Well, we have been doing this thing for about a year and a half. But what prompted me to go into this is I was once an assembly member here, and we had report of some of our community folks going up there to engage in the illegal mining, and they've lost their lives. Some were also shot due to the task force action against them in the forest. So there's the need to bring them back. And that is what prompted me to put this package together in line with government paper on this project. We are currently about 28, including support staff, about 4. So we are looking at 32 people currently. Yeah, and we are in the process of settling them into either fish farming or cropping. Our study revealed that this group of people are people who lived around water bodies, and so that's why they are able to transfer that experience into the mining activities in the water bodies. Most of the people who are operating in the water bodies, who are engaging in the alluvial illegal mining, they hail from water settling communities. They hail from these areas, and so my own investigation identified that some of my colleagues, some of my friends, some of the folks around this place have migrated to the mining communities, and they are the people who are engaged in the alluvial mining. So I decided to engage the leaders of the community to get this site so that we can relocate them to the site here to continue to engage in, this time not illegal, but dredging of the sand so that we can market it while looking for alternative job for them.
He explains how difficult it was for him to get the attention and understanding of these illegal miners.
It was quite challenging because when we started, people did not get the concept. Initially, we tried to employ them directly by bringing them down. We realized that these are people who were operating on their own, so they cannot easily be controlled. So what we have decided subsequently is to rent out the boat to them. They own the boat, they operate. What we concentrate on doing is marketing the sand, while concentrating this time on creating alternative job for them. So you can see at the background, we have fish cages in the pond, basically to train them on fish farming, so that we will now migrate from the dredging of the sand into fish farming. You can also see in the background ducks. Elsewhere we have poultry, we have turkey, we have some other birds, and we are also into farming as well. This is a concept that we are working into the integrated multi-sectorial approach as recommended by the paper. So what we tend to do is that when they dredge and we sell for some time and they are not able to settle in the community back, then we train them on one of these concepts. And so we engage the district agri department, the business advisory department to meet them from time to time to sensitize them, to prepare them for the switch to either fish farming or rearing of animals or cropping. Yeah.
The MMIP is aimed to meet the increasing demands to reclaim and restore degraded lands as close as possible to their original status, as well as providing the knowledge and skills required to bridge the gap between damaged lands and fully restore Ghana's ecosystem.
When you go through the paper, that is the best you can ever get from a government that want to respect the environment, that want to confront the fight, has prepared a roadmap where when the people have been moved from the bush to come on board, prepare them and reintegrate them into other business ventures that are sustainable. So we are looking at the fish farming, we are looking at cash cropping, we are looking at vegetable farming, we are looking at rearing of animals, piggery, all sorts of things. And this is integrated with food planting for food and job, rearing for food and job. In this area, there is no village, one dam. So we are looking at other irrigation schemes. Fortunately, we have the rice irrigation scheme here that is also operating. So we are going to work alongside some of these schemes and then integrate them to work effectively.
He couldn't have gone on a transformational journey without telling these young men about the dangers of engaging in illegal mining.
It is true that they make a lot of money from the illegal gold mining. It is also a fact that the risk in the gold mining is higher, and we continue to conscientize them to reduce the risks in their activities. So what we are doing effectively is to continually counsel them about the risk, about the impact on the environment, to sensitize them for the need to operate in a sustainable way. So with time, they are able to see that, okay, although they will not make much money here, the money can be made, the small money they are making can be made in a sustainable way. So they are comfortable with that. And they are in touch with their family. I mean, they go home, they see their families, unlike the gold mining areas where they are in remote places and some they don't even get home, they sleep in the forest just because they want to hide from the task force.
He believes government's multi-sectorial mining integrated project is the best solution to ending illegal mining, since the love for quick money could set in any time. Thus, there must be stronger measures to strengthen the initiative.
We are looking at model projects around that we want to seek support to implement. And so we have registered an association that will be launching hopefully a few weeks to come. The association is to have all this group of people properly registered, and then we have those who want to go into cropping, they want to go into fish farming, they want to go into animal rearing. And with the fish farming, we will have to get them in cluster, where we'll have a unit that will be in charge of producing the feed, a unit that will be in charge of fabricating the cages. In fact, we are researching more as to how to reduce the cost of the cages. If you can see, we have the extreme end made up of metal, then towards this side is made up of bamboo. So we can train the people to be able to fabricate or assemble their own cages at very low cost to be able to do that. So we are looking at long term how to put all the auxiliary activities that will go into fish farming, that will go into poultry, that will go into coconut plantation, that will go into plantain farming and other vegetable farming together, so that we provide input for each other. We train artisans like the fabricators, the mechanics, to be able to come together. So you can also come to work. For example, this is the mechanic over there. He doesn't work with us directly, but he comes here anytime a machine is broken down, he fixes. So it's not like we have employed him, but he's also making income from the process. And so we are enjoying from the cooperative and the cluster way of doing business, which is working effectively.
So here on the side, there are 7 different groups, all made up of illegal miners who have gone through some level of training and still being transformed to do something legal, all part of the initiative. And so behind me is what they call the chamfan, machines used for dredging the sand from the river here. And that right on my right hand side is the Volta River, where the sand is being dredged from. Okay, so here on this ground, several things are happening. The dredging of sand, farming, including fish farming, the rearing of duck, turkeys, plantation including okra plants, plantains, and a lot more.
On the fish farming, Godwin Awudi tells us how they've managed to create ponds out of the hole they created as a result of sand dredging from the Volta River, an activity similar to what illegal miners do in water bodies.
These are demonstration cages that we are using to train the Galamsey returnees who are into the use of the chamfam for the illegal mining that we have relocated to the site here, Volleyball not to be precise. We started with these metal cages to train them on fish farming, but we realized that it will be more expensive. So we are introducing a cheaper cage using the bamboo. We are also trying how durable it is. It will be to support the Galamsey returnees to go into aquaculture. So we are going to pour some of the feed into the water for you to see the fish that we have in a cage. We are currently trying catfish, and this should be ready for harvest by end of this month. This is the trial and the demonstration farm to teach the Galamsey returnees about fish farming. Eventually, this pond will be turned into fingerlings raising pond, where we will use it to raise only fingerlings. Then we are going to transfer the cages into the Volta River proper, allocate it to the Galamsey returnees and stop them from the dredging, where they will now go into fish farming as their main occupation. And then those who don't do fish farming will go into the rearing of ducks, turkey, or into the growing of plantain or coconut or any other vegetables that they will be interested in growing. This fish farm here belonging to Chinese is a model fish farm we want to implement, where we bring the Galamsey returnees, put them into cluster, and get a very big farm like this. As part of the project, we'll get a place to produce feed, we'll get a team like a factory to fabricate the cages, and we get something like mechanics who will be servicing the machines, and in fact it's going to be a hub of fish farm and its auxiliary business activities.
Former illegal miner who has been mining for 3 years tells us how his illegal mining journey was and how his transformation has been.
Felix Sabla used to engage in illegal mining, but because of government intervention and also a private sector intervention to make sure that recommendation by government to restructure or transform these illegal miners into legal workers, he's benefited from this side. Felix, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How long were you mining?
I will speak English. I will speak Ewe. I can't speak English. That's what he said.
Okay, so that means he's going to be speaking to us in Ewe, but our gentleman here will be translating it into the English language for us, right? So kindly ask him, how long was he engaged in illegal mining?
Maybe 3 years.
34.
I have been engaged in Galamsey mining for the past 3 years. Before I came here, I relocated to this place.
How did you first know that there was something called Galamsey? Who even introduced you to it?
Galamsey Doualele. According to him, his friends introduced him into the Galamsey operations.
So what exactly made him want to stop? Is it because government placed a halt on all the Galamsey activities, or he decided to stop, looking at the how scary it was at the time?
Right, it's the government intervention and the constitution of the task force to fight against illegal mining created high risks. There were also so many accidents over there because they were hiding to undertake their activities, and those are some of the reasons why I decided to stop and relocate to this place.
During your participation as an illegal miner, what are some of the scary moments you encountered?
he was engaged in Chafan illegal mining in Dunkwa around Chichira, Praso areas before he relocated. Nuka na hafidin ejujo. Nuka tetekpo kana pole do mama kafin ejujo.
Do it tetekpo ka mala mo ka kale government anu ko do mi ye na makpa because yen to nyam kuma kula da pare ala kretu okun ye na makpa.
The scariest moment I can remember was when one of our colleagues was shot dead by the task force. In fact, that was the moment he decided that he could not continue on such a risky venture again.
Was he engaged in any banter or any fiscal banter with the security force? What happened exactly?
No, can't you feel that way? Although like darkly police were low.
Mille a doma ka for operation vata me ko ta mi no duvun. Yo no to danta to pelo pare da ka bo pare da ka to pelo o doma gi eta ye ku nu ma no en ma na makpa le that was 2017 le nkoko anyine gama no jola ye nyen makpa.
We were on site carrying out our activity, and the task force arrived. They started shooting indiscriminately. In the process, stray bullet hit 3 of our colleagues, one in the shoulder, one at the groin, and one died on the spot. And that was the scariest moment that prompted him to stop and come back.
We've been here. There are several options, from fish farming to plantation to sun dredging and all that. Which really would you want to improve on, or when you live here, which really would you want to start for yourself as a business?
Ne ekpa kede de dokatu tutu na dibe na ne popopele won atawo legi e la nyenye alo doku alo papa alo kokulu alo agle no to na dibe ade e ka anyo na dibe na ne popopele won atawo fia
Enye fine adoro kata kama e ki ofio na egboro fia la ne mo po de se ade la je nyema we la nyenye alo agle de se ade nyema we la will be ke vanya mo kwa malawe.
Any of the options, from fish farming to rearing of turkey, ducks, as well as growing of crops, plantain, coconut, anyone that we recommend to him and support him financially is ready to undertake to stop the dredging even at this place.
Ever since you came here, how different is this process from your illegal mining?
Never get a photo to go a dome, give a dome, play her enemy wall, praso convaya.
Vutoto elem nyebe ekie ekako de mile kaka kama esbe gold nya ota gie ehie bubulu mo kaka kama to ehie bulu dama ehie gbele enu ma vutoto ma kola mama.
The main difference is that here we are dredging sand, and because we are interested in the sand, we don't dump the sand into the river, and so we don't pollute the water. Unlike the gold mining, where we wash the gold and dump it into the river and end up polluting the river. Over there, the river is polluted.
I want you to tell me how much he was earning in a day or in a week, and let's compare that to how much he's earning here, and what will make him still want to stay here rather than go back to the illegal mining.
Gamaela egaleme fine egaleme ekwo hale and madam Pambe mama no eki ha galeme eki ha nyo etanyi me febe maga Galamsey ho me febe man no give because of giela eku afo eku kwala kamele mabadun for now.
The income there was very high. I mean, you can just imagine what it means to be engaged in gold mining. The income was enough, but the risk, death, accident, and all sort of things. Compared to this place, the income is moderate, but I think this is more decent and is environmental friendly as well. So he would like to stay here rather than to go back and engage in activities that will pollute the river.
According to some people I've spoken to concerning the illegal mining, they end up telling me that they are not even really able to use the money they get from the illegal mining to do anything positive. How has he been able to use the money he's earning here to do something positive for himself?
A guy be kwala gama de mi tezi ko na ne alogi e to mo su gbore ya mi tele zan kwala na ne wo mi.
Mo so Ghana mo so gbon happy problem. E no so gbon happy problem. Eta actually won to ala ko save ka fata ko na ni. Kama ba giela e ke ko ma la jangu. Nyama la save ko na no wo.
Yeah, the more you earn, the more you spend, and then the challenges that come thereof with it. But here, it's moderate, but he's able to plan and manage it better than when he was there.
If you have the opportunity to advise any of your colleagues who might still be engaged in the illegal mining, what sentence, a very short sentence, are you going to tell them?
Adam currently be Adona Ameo still ogale prasole a chiama illegal money or Adam Canela.
Oh, laying a mon copola. If you're mere president or premier, I should be my pardon. And then when you are la, Kedwe Miakma, because of Namuako to Matitibea, Wella, a focal. At any come of Valley, if you're like a tumor fight, I am a gun of you on your bed. Neha, one at a pot door, the Loga pot docker, the Abac blaming Yawella, Eke Hanu, and no, because game a powerful quality.
We have to respect the president's order, and we have to support the president to win the fight against illegal mining. And so he's urging his colleagues who are still there to stop and come. And he's also saying that when they come, the later they will get here, they should try and manage it. He's also seeking for opportunity to get their colleagues here to stop the mining, illegal mining over there, so that they can come and earn some kind of living here. So if there is any support, as the government is fighting against the illegal mining, if there is any support that can be made available to enable them to relocate here, he will be grateful.
On April 4, 2017, the formation of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey was brought into existence. Necessitated the formation of Operation Vanguard. The coalition was a collection of concerned journalists in Ghana led by workers of the Graphic Communications Group Limited, using all media platforms available to the coalition. Pressure was mounted on the government of Ghana to respond to the environmental degradation caused by Galamsey. In an interaction with the news lead producer of Ignite Media's Metro TV, Sandra Ofosu-Dawonu expressed her thoughts on how this pilot on the recommendation of the MMIP can transform the lives of illegal miners while reclaiming illegal mining sites.
This is a positive aspect of trying to end Galamsey, because really if you are stopping the people from getting their livelihoods from illegal mining activities, how then do they take care of themselves? How then do they get sustainable livelihoods? So what I see here is a positive aspect of a private sector trying to get into the books of government, use government's own recommendations as to how the aftermath of illegal mining, these former illegal miners can survive and have sustainable livelihoods. So they are not being taken to the schools to learn how to do rockets. This is not rocket science. They are still using their initial knowledge of using the chamfa and the flatbeds on the river bodies to actually do the alluvial gold mining, such that they dig the sand from the riverbeds, wash the sand, extract their gold out of it, and then dump the sand back into the river. This time round, they are not getting gold here, but they are digging the sand from the river, and then it is put at a far distance so that the sand is separated from the water, and the water goes into collection somewhere else. It gets clean and seeps back into the river. They're able to get their sand, and then they sell it off, and then they make their money from there. And then gradually, once they get the depth they want in the river, they are able to start their fish farming. And that is more sustainable than illegal gold mining, where government will keep coming after them, government after government. So today I've seen a very positive thing after post-Galamsey, and I think it is laudable. This is my journalistic perspective, but I think it is positive. If it is from a government paper, yes. Okay. So I think investors should come into it. I don't know how much they need, but we'll find out from Godwin later how much they actually need. and then investors can come in and help. I think it's positive.
So aside the fact that they are dredging sand from the river here, when you go on the mainland, there is farming going on there, from fish farming all the way through to the farming of plantain, okra, and some other plants. Seeing all this, it's a different form of education without you having to sit in the classroom. How would it also help agriculture here in the country?
I think a lot of the youth are running away from agriculture because they feel it is not lucrative enough. They feel they are not making the money as they are expecting, as compared to probably the illegal mining that they were doing. But believe you me, this is more sustainable. This is for the long haul. You can do this for a long period of time and you wouldn't get any government anti-Galamsey tax force coming after you. So I see that this is a very nice way of getting the youth off illegal mining into farming, and it is more sustainable and it is laudable.
So another interesting part of this is that almost every worker here who is working currently here on this site was using chamfa to mine illegally. So indirectly, they are transferring their knowledge from the illegal mining into doing something legal, this time around dredging sand.
Kwame's life has been transformed through the multi-sectorial mining integrated project.
This man was also brought. In fact, we brought him from the Galamsey side. We allocated a boat to him. Anytime we bring somebody from the Galamsey side, we need to allocate a boat to him.
How long have you been involved in this dredging business?
Okay. I started 21 years now from Bato before our brother come and call, say we can't do this work. So when we go Galamsey, we are suffering for that. Everyday operation. So when we call us to do this work, we are happy because we no get money. Our father no get money to help us for education. So we will have to do a few work and get money to help our family.
You mentioned that you've been mining for 21 years. Yeah. You've been doing illegal mining or Galamsey for 21 years. Is that what you were telling me?
Yeah.
How is life after 21 years of involving in illegal mining and now you're doing dredging? How is life for you currently?
Okay. Life is when we are suffering, we are suffering. So this one, we don't have any problem of it. For the police, everyday soldiers, everyday police, so we no get hard for do the work to get money. So the few money that we get, then you explain it for transportations. The price too is too long. That's why when we get this one for we are happy on it.
Now you have your own chamfa. I've been told you have your own chamfa. You have your own machine you're working with.
Yeah.
Tell me about your income.
Okay. Sometimes you lose in the work, but sometimes you gain. But the one that our brother tell us to do, the fish farm, we have a lot of process on it. But if you do it good, you get your own on it. So this one, we just want to do it and get chance to do our fish farm.
Thank you so much. But before you go, a quick one. If any of your brothers who are still or may still be involved in the illegal mining are watching you right now, what would you want to tell about it? If any of your brothers who are still doing the illegal mining or might be still involved in the illegal mining are watching you right now, what would you advise to them?
Oh, I advise to stop the illegal money and we come to do this work. It will help our life. Because that place is very dangerous. So I will tell my brothers to stop illegal that monies. Yeah.
When you were doing illegal mining, what was one of the most scariest moments of your life as an illegal miner?
Illegal miners, one day you can die. And you don't have any good profit on it because you get money and one day you spend all money But here, if you get a few, you are in your town or you are in your village. So we do something to help our family. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Yes. This is one of the dredging points. This is one group who are doing the sand dredging here. We don't want to refer to them why they are here as illegal miners because they have returned from those fields. Now we are trying to help them to establish here. So this is one group. When they dredge the sand, we don't allow the water to go back directly into the water. So we direct the water into this pond. You can see the flow here into the pond. And in the pond, that is why we are raising fingerlings and rearing fish for harvest and for sale. So our process here does not cause any pollution at all. We also keep the site neat. You can see that there are no plastic materials here and everything is neat here. So we ensure that we respect the environment and we engage in clean activities so that the water river can continue to be clean to serve its purpose. This is the sand dredging process. Yeah, we pump the sand from the river using the same chamfam process. And in order not to pollute the river by directing the water directly into it, we direct the water into this area where it sits under the ground before entering the river. So this is the sand that is coming. And then we direct the water this way into the bush here so that it will not enter directly into the river. And this is the sand that we sell to cover the cost of the fuel and to get them some pocket money to prevent them from going back into the forest areas to go and engage in alluvial Galamsey. So this is the wastewater that is going, and it's going into this bush. You see it? So the sand will be clean, and then the water is also entering this portion. It doesn't enter the river directly, and so everything is clean at the site here. With time, it will pass through underground and enter the river clean again for us to continue our process. And that is how we engage in sand dredging here, using the returnees from the alluvial Galamsey sites.
There have been calls for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Minerals Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and other stakeholders to be strengthened to deliver on their mandates in helping government stop illegal mining menace for good. This fight is a shared responsibility and all hands need to be on deck. The second part of this exposé will throw light on these agencies and their effort to halt illegal gold mining in Ghana.